So we'll be covering the first technique in the multiplication pattern. So multiplications of the type a plus b into a minus b, the result being a square minus b square. So the concept here is, if two numbers in the multiplication can be represented in the form a plus b and a minus b, then the multiplication can be directly done using the formula a square minus b square. So let's try to multiply this 34 into 46. Let us try to first go in the traditional route that we have learned all along. 6 4s is 24, 6 3 is 18 plus 2 is 20, 4 4 16, 4 3 is 12 plus 1 13, 4 6 5 1. So it's 1564. So instead of this, let us now understand the same thing using the technique that we have learned here. So here all you have to do is, once you see the question, you try to find out. This is the framework that should run at the back of your head to understand whether this fits into some pattern or not. So the moment I see these numbers, I will write them as 40 minus 6 into 40 plus 6. A plus b, a minus b into a plus b. A square minus b square, which is 40 square minus 6 square. So 4 square is 16, so 40 square is 1600. Minus 6 square is 36. So this entire difference comes out to be 1564. So you just have, so imagine the amount of time that you would require to do this. So 40 square, 6 square. So have this pattern in place, gets done in 5 to 6 seconds of time. Whereas in the traditional approach, you are spending 9 to 10 seconds of time. And this is where these small savings in time help you to solve more number of questions. So I just put the numbers in an arrangement which is familiar to me, a plus b into a minus b, and the resultant is what my answer is going to be. Let us solve more questions in this model. 39 into 31. So what you are going to do here is, the moment you see these numbers, it's tempting to either write them as 30 plus something or 40 plus something. But if you see, both the numbers are bounded between 30 and 40. So if both the numbers are bounded between two 10s, 30s and 40s, then try to go with the middle value. So here in this case, it is 35. So it will be 35 minus 4 into 35 plus 4. So it's 35 square minus 4 square. Again, square still 1 to 30 comes in handy, but if you learn more, it's always the better. 35 square is 1225 minus 4 square is 16. So this difference is coming out to be 1209. Again, it's about arranging the numbers and seeing how they are bounded. And here you have 77 into 83. So 77 and 83 are not bounded by the common boundaries of 70 and 80. So one is below 80 and one is above 80. So you will always go with the 10th value. So here I will write this as 80 plus 3 into 80 minus 3, which is 80 square minus 3 square. 8 square is 64, so this is 6400, minus 3 square is 9, so this is 6391. So always understand, it's about how you arrange the numbers, and with practice you will try to understand and you will be able to appreciate how the numbers are spread out. So are they bounded by a common boundary, or do you have space for something else? So depending on that, you will be able to arrange the numbers. So now let us see one limitation or one trap that you have here. So let's say you have a numbers pattern like this, 67 into 64. So it can still be put in a plus b and a minus b terms, but the catch here is 67 is written as 65 and half plus 1 and half. 64 is written as 65 and half minus 1 and half. So you are effectively trying to find out the square of this and the square of this. See, always understand the background or the idea behind solving questions using these techniques is to save on time. So by doing this, if you are bringing in additional complexity and wasting more time, this approach is worthless. So when you have such an arrangement where you are not familiar with, there is no point of using this approach. So always understand the limitation of this approach is there can be cases where there is an additional complexity, especially if the numbers are written in forms of decimal additions and decimal subtractions. So when you encounter such a scenario, it's better to move to the split and merge technique. So let us learn what this split and merge technique means.